Welcome to Make It Happen Monday, my weekly dose of healthy inspiration. Today I want to shed some light on two really unique features of nuts that make them incredibly powerful for weight control. And we see repeatedly in all the studies, population studies, clinical trials, case control studies, laboratory studies, over and over and over. Nuts somehow really help us with weight control. And I can tell you, and that's what I'm going to share in this particular tip, two scientifically based reasons for that, but we do think they're even additional. So the first thing is that nuts have a lot of fat, and fat has a lot of calories. Now, they're healthy fats. They can't do anything bad to you, but they do have calories. Guess what? Because nuts are plant-based foods, those fat calories are walled off in fiber. Why? Because one thing about plants, and of course all plant-based foods, is the cell walls of plants are made out of fiber. And one thing fantastic about that fiber relative to the cell walls of animal-based foods, which don't have fiber, is that fiber impedes your digestive enzymes. It's hard the calories are inside of that. The calories in a plant-based food are inside those cell walls. And when you bite them and chew them, and again, we're talking about nuts here, your digestive enzymes can't break through all the fiber to be able to access the fat calories. And really, the calories that go in your body are the ones that matter, not just the calories that go in your mouth. Now, so how does this help you with weight control? Well, one is really obvious. Some of those fat calories literally come out of your back end. They're not going into you. You are pooping them out. And the studies show that up to 30% of the calories in nuts are coming out of our other ends. Yeah, they go in here, but they're coming out the other way. So what does this mean for you? Let's say you look at a nutrition facts on your almonds and it says, they're 200 calories per serving. Well, up to 30% of those calories are not really going into you. So do the math. That means, wow, it's really not 200 calories per serving. It really is 140 calories per serving. So that's reason number one. And again, the studies have shown this. We have proof of this. And it's again because of food structure. Very, very important. I'll be talking more and more about food structure in these Make It Happen Mondays. We're really finding out it matters for a lot of different reasons. The other thing that's fantastic about these walled off fat calories is it means that you're going to be having some fat calories get to the very end of your small intestine known as the ileum. And what happens there is if any form of calories get to that point, the very end of your small intestine, it's a powerful trigger for something we call the ileal brake. And the ileal brake is better known as your meal termination mechanism. This is what allows you to say, I'm done eating. Your appetite shuts off. You don't want any more food, right? We call it the ileal brake, and it's elicited by the presence of calories getting to that distal small intestine known as the ileum. Now, let me explain to you why we have these calories that make it to that really distal point. If you don't know it, it's in your small intestine where digestion and absorption of calories takes place. Okay? So if you don't already know it, digestion and thus after that, the absorption of the calories in the foods you eat takes place in the small intestine. And when you can wall off calories or some of your calories with fiber from the plant walls, right? That plant cell walls like we talked about with these nuts. It means that it can't get all the way digested by the time it gets to the end. And so that's why they're calories, fat calories that hit that point. Does that make sense? Yeah, as always, they're saying yeah. So anyway, that's amazing. And so that gives you, the ileal brake and the nuts give you powerful appetite suppression. And then of course you have the fact that, you know, some of the calories come at the other end. And they've done clinical trials to show that people can have nuts in the morning and they actually eat less at lunch and at dinner. And what's happening there is somehow through the ileal brake mechanism, or the other thing that's happening because the walled off calories, the walling off prevents some of them from going into you, which means they're going to be dumped into your large colon. Guess what lives there? The microbiome. And so they're somehow having a favorable effect. The fact that you have some residual calories that get dumped into the microbiome is having a favorable effect on your appetite throughout the rest of the day. Anyway, so the point is here, nuts are a fantastic food for weight control. I'm not saying eat the whole, you know, jar, because you do get plenty of calories that are absorbed, right? But they are certainly something that you should be including in your life each and every day. And you may be wondering, Dr. Ann, do I get these same benefits, the ileal brake appetite suppressive effects, the potential microbiome appetite suppressive effects, and the calories coming out the other end if I eat nut butters, like peanut butter, almond butter? Well, the answer is no, and they've done those clinical trials. Although there's tons of nutrients in here, and you're getting all the goodness in nuts, and I'm not even talking about the health benefits of nuts, because you can get the health benefits from this. But the appetite suppression and the weight control benefits related to things I just talked about, you can't get from nut butters. Why? Because the cell walls, the fiber's been completely broken down. And so all of these calories will be absorbed in the small intestine. None will enter your large colon. None will enter the very distal end of your small intestine. And of course, none will come out your bottom. Okay, so choosing nuts is better for weight control and appetite control than doing the almond butter and the peanut butter. But again, there's nothing wrong with these health-wise. It's just not as good for weight control. So enough of that. Thank you.